Hey everyone, my name is Daniel. I'm an executive coach based in Berlin. This is the first video I'm doing on YouTube. I'm starting these videos based around my podcast. The podcast that I started last year is called Politic-Wise. It's essentially exploring how can we make a change in the world, try to make that positive impact in politics especially, while at the same time also, showing up as the best version of ourselves. In these videos here on YouTube, I thought I want to link up the ideas, the insights from my guests, from the world of politics, from research. And I'm going to start this video on one of my favorite books. It's a book that I like to give as present. It's one of those books that really shifts your perspective. And for me, it has shifted my perspective on mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness is not the magic bullet. Something that if you do that in addition to mindfulness, then you really have a powerful source of well-being, and not just for yourself, but also you've got this sense that, you're making a positive impact in the world by how you're showing up. And the book that I'm referring to is this one here. It's Into the Magic Shop by Dr. James Doty. And without giving any spoilers, it's the story of a young boy who really grew up in very difficult circumstances, in poverty, a family that neglected him, really having trouble making ends meet, being bullied at school, all of that. And one day, in the summer break, he goes into this magic shop, and in the magic shop he meets a lady called Ruth, gives the little boy magic tricks. But it's not any kind of magic trick, it's those kind of tricks, those kind of practices for life that if you really stick to them, then you can change things in your life. Now, as you can tell, these are not any magic tricks, those tricks of a magician. These are practices for life that he shares with this little boy. And this little boy, after summer, he practices that. He practices during the summer, and he practices that for life. And fast forward, and he's now an adult, and he's managed to lift himself out of those circumstances, difficult circumstances, and is now a successful neurosurgeon. He's wealthy, he's very good at what he's doing, but he's miserable. A lot of pressure that he puts on himself, that the environment puts on him. He's disconnected from others. He's unhappy. And in that moment, when he realizes he's miserable, he thinks back to what Ruth, the lady in the magic shop, told him. And she told him, there are a couple of magic tricks, but you need to promise me that you're going to do all of them, not just the first couple of tricks. You really need to do all of them. And he didn't do all of them. He just focused on one or two of them, and it brought him very far. He became the neurosurgeon, very successful, but still unhappy. And he realizes that's because he didn't follow all the tricks. And that's the message behind the book. It's that you need to do all of these things. If you just focus on one part of it, if you just focus on one of those practices, if you just focus on mindfulness and meditation, it gets you far, but it only gets you that far. You may still end up like this little boy, miserable and unhappy and disconnected from yourself, and disconnected from people around you. And I don't want to spoil this for you. I don't want to spoil what those magic tricks are exactly and what those magic tricks that the little boy neglected are exactly. But I think I can say this. The little boy is the author of this. It's James Doty himself. And James Doty used to be a neurosurgeon. Now he's doing research at a scientific center that really looks into one of those magic tricks that he neglected. And again, don't want to spoil this for you. It's a super engaging story, and not just that, it's also full of those practical exercises, those magic tricks. You can try them for yourself, and those magic tricks, those practices are themselves also backed up by a lot of research that's coming out that the author himself, James Doty, is working on. It's one of those books that I would recommend to you. Thanks for watching. I'm going to be sharing videos like these, linking up some of these ideas in the future. Thank you, and see you in the next video.